back to All About the Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about the Disney life. We now move on to our next Disney movie that got its own spin-off TV series. It is Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and this series is a spin-off TV series for the Toy Story franchise. This series was seen on ABC and UPN. It came out October 2nd, 2000, and it ended on January 13th, 2001. So here is the cast. Now be patient with me. This is a pretty big voice cast for this series, and there's categories, so at least they did that. So here we go. So starting off with Team Lightyear, we have Patrick Warburton, who voiced Buzz Lightyear, but they got Tim Allen to voice Buzz Lightyear for the episode The Adventure Begins, which was also the pilot. At least they did something right. We have Nicole Sullivan as Mira Nova, Stephen First as Booster Sinclair. We had Larry Miller and Neil Flynn going back and forth, and they played XR, that's Experimental Ranger. So for the other personnel, we have Adam Carolla as Commander Nebula, Patrick Warburton as the Little Green Men, Steve Heitner as Ty Parsec, Rob Paulson as Fop Doppler, Nikki Cox as Petra Hammerhold, Michael Showalter as Plasma Boy, and Joy Behar as 42. So next up we have the villains, and we're going to go on with the main villains. Wayne Wright was Emperor Zurg. Frank Welker voiced all the Grubs. We have Jeff Bennett, Dan Castellaneta, Sean Hayes, Tress McNeil, Jeremy Piven, Paul Rugg, and Frank Welker as the Brain Pods. Diedrich Badar was Warp Dark Matter. Brad Garrett was Torque. Phil Lamar was Smeagol. Carrie Kenny Silver was Gravenita. Bobcat Goldthwait was XL. Craig Ferguson was NOS-4-82. And Patrick Warburton was the evil Buzz Lightyear. So for recurring villains, we have characters called the Clorm Scientists. We have Jonathan Harris as Era, Bill Mumby as Eon, and Frank Welker as Pooch. John Favreau was a Crumford Lorak. Kevin Michael Richardson was Tremendor. Charles Fleschler was Monumentus. Kevin Michael Richardson played both Immensiter and Behamor. They're members of the Gargantuan Militants. French Stewart was Rent Whistle Swack. Kevin Michael Richardson was Lardak Ludark. Mitchell Whitfield was Norbert Q. Klurm. Clancy Brown was Clev. Kevin Michael Richardson was Varg. Jess Harnell was Grounder Clay. John Kesser was Grounder Marl. Dave James Elliott was Romac. And Peter McNichol was the Roswellian Major. Now for one-time villains only, we have David Warner as Agstrom, Harvey Korman as Minister Glorious, Ryan Stiles as Professor Spyro von Madman, Tara Strong as Bonnie Lepton, Ricardo Montalban as Vartkes, Mark Hamill as Flint, Jess Harnell as Kino Kentrix, Eric Idle as the Heed, and its name is Guazillion. Wallace Langham is Smoltz. Wallace Langham was the Carebots. Diedrich Badar was Natron. There's also these group of villains called the Valkyrian Raiders, and their names are Brune, Sig, and Hilda, and they're all voiced by Tress McNeil. And then for the Galactic Alliance, we have Ross Ryan as Madam President, Jim Cummings as Senator R. Fox, Dan Castellaneta as Senator Benda, Corey Burton as Senator Hammerhold, and Frank Welker as Senator Flagmax. Now for other characters, we have Russi Taylor as Becky, Corey Burton as Brent Starkisser, Paul Rugg as Cosmo, Tony J as Dr. Animus, Linda Hamilton as Uzma Furbana, Paul Rugg as Ed, Brian Doyle Murray as Officer Fanchex, Joel Murray as Professor Triffid, Cree Summer as Savvy SL2, Stephen Root as Sheriff of Roswell, John O'Hurley as King Nova, Earl Bowen as Santa Claus, and Ed Asner as the Fixer. Now we move on to the facts all about Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Number 1, the backstory. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is an American animated science fiction comedy television series produced by Walt Disney Television Animation. It is a spin-off of Pixar's Toy Story franchise. The series was preceded by the direct-to-video film Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins. and aired on ABC and UPN from October 2nd, 2000 to January 13th, 2001. While the series is 2D animated, Pixar animated the CGI opening title sequence. Developed by Bob Schooley and Mark McCorkle, the series follows the adventures of Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear. The character first appeared as an action figure voiced by Tim Allen in the 1995 film Toy Story. Patrick Warburton voices the character in the television series. A video game based on the series was released in 2000. Number 2, the premise. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is set in a Star Wars-style setting. Capital Planet is the forefront of the Galactic Alliance, a peaceful union of various planets, homes to various alien species that coexist in harmony. Star Command is a peacekeeping organization consisting of space rangers who investigate threats to galactic peace. The primary enemy of Star Command is Emperor Zurg, an intergalactic crime boss and warlord who rules Planet Z, with an empire of heavily armed robots and slave races forced to work in opposition to the Galactic Alliance. The series follows Buzz Lightyear, an experienced and famous space ranger who takes a crew of rookies under his wing as he investigates criminal activity across the galaxy and attempts to thwart Zurg's evil plots to overthrow the universe. Number 3, the broadcast and syndication. This series was aired during UPN's Disney's 1-2 programming block from October 2000 to August 2003. One episode, Supernova, aired twice during its original run. It also aired on Disney Channel from June 5, 2006 to May 16, 2008, when it was taken off the air in the US. 2 episodes, Conspiracy and Inside Job, were rarely seen after the September 11 attacks. The show also aired on Toon Disney from August 31, 2003 to May 27, 2007, as well as on the network's Jetix block for a brief time in 2004. Number 4, the production. In May of 2000, it was announced Walt Disney Television Animation would be producing an animated series based on the character of Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, with Patrick Warburton set to voice the title character. 65 episodes were announced for broadcast in fall of that year, 52 of which would be broadcast on UPN's Disney's 1-2, while the other 13 would be broadcast on ABC's Disney's One Saturday Morning. While the majority of the animation was done by Disney Television Animation, Pixar provided animation for the show's opening sequence. Other animation houses involved in the production included Tama Productions, Sun Woo Entertainment, Sunmin Image Pictures, Seihan Productions, Hana Animation, Jade Animation, Wang Film Productions, and Toon City. Number 5, the awards. At the Daytime Emmy Awards, the series won for Outstanding Sound Editing for Special Class. Number 6, the video game. A video game titled Buzz Lightyear of Star Command was developed by Traveler's Tales and published by Activision and released for PlayStation, Game Boy Color, Microsoft Windows, and Dreamcast in 2000. The gameplay revolves around Buzz chasing down the various villains from the show and defeating them using different color-coded weapons. So Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, I have heard of it, never watched it. I love Toy Story though. However, this is what ticks me off a little bit. When I started giving the cast and I said, well, Patrick Warburton voices Buzz Lightyear, but they got Tim Allen to do the pilot episode, and I said at least they did something right. And it has to do with the movie Lightyear that came out, I forget, when did it, I don't know when it came out. Anyways, I cannot be the only one. There has to be many other Disney fans that were upset that Tim Allen did not voice Lightyear for that movie. I cannot be the only one who is upset about that, but it just like confuses me. They got Tim Allen to do the pilot for the show to get picked up, and then they got Patrick Warburton, no offense to him because he's voiced iconic Disney character, obviously we know Kronk, but you can't tell me that like the years of getting original voice actors from movies to reprise their roles for TV series, they only use Tim Allen for the pilot so the series gets picked up, and then they get rid of him and use Patrick Warburton. Okay. So when I watched the theme opening for this series, I saw the part, it's like, yes, there's the Pixar animation, there's like Buzz Lightyear with the rest of the Toy Story characters. They turn on the TV, there's his show, and then it's 2D animated. And it's not even, because when the fact said, oh, Pixar animated the opening sequence, by opening sequence, they mean like 10, 15 seconds of the theme song, basically, of like the theme opening. literally it's only 10 to 15, 20 max seconds of the Pixar CGI, it's not CGI, Pixar animation, and then you have the 2D animation. Why wouldn't they, maybe it cost too much money at the time to do Pixar animated TV series, or probably at the time because Disney didn't really technically own Pixar at the time. When did Pixar get picked up by Disney? Was it 2011? But watching the theme, you can get like the gist of it. It's like, yes, here are the rookie Lightyear Rangers and Buzz is training them, and like all of like the different action sequences. And the fact that it was only on for 1 year, that means it was only on for one season, obviously, because if it started October 2nd, 2000, and then it stopped January 13th, 2001, that's one season, obviously. So probably, I don't know. And then also for the opening sequence, you see Wheezy. So this series came out after Toy Story 2. So they jumped on it, obviously, because Toy Story came out in 95. Toy Story 2 came out in 99. And then you have this series coming out in 2000. So it kind of makes sense if Toy Story 2 was like amazing and had new characters and they wanted to keep going with it. Good on you. And the fact that Buzz Lightyear is just popular on its own, like separating Buzz Lightyear from like the Toy Story franchise a little bit and giving him his own like TV series that has to do with, because it would make sense, because if Buzz Lightyear is a toy, we know that, like Andy would have to have been watching Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, like the TV show, like in my mind, like a character story wise, like that show had to have been on in the Pixar Toy Story universe for Andy to know who Buzz Lightyear was, because we don't really know the origins of how the toy got made. We know the origins of the famous space explorer Lightyear, but we don't know how he became a toy. So there you have it. Those are the facts to Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.